Hey, welcome back. So today, let's try a problem that uses the basics of the two-pointer technique. Our problem basically asks us to take some string and determine if we have what's called a valid palindrome, which is some string that can be read the same forward and backward. Now we know that in Python, there are plenty of ways to reverse a string that are really simple. So I think the idea is that to prevent the problem from being too trivial, we're going to go ahead and add the condition that any non-alphanumeric characters should be ignored. A two-pointer approach makes sense as we can mirror our position along a string and we can check the pair of strings at each pair of pointers. If we ignore any non-alphanumeric characters, we can check each pair and we can then make sure that the pairs are equal. If we do find any pairs of alphanumeric characters that are not equal, we should go ahead and return false. Otherwise, we have successfully gone through the string, and therefore we should return true. We can see how all of this works with an example. So consider the string a man, a plan, a canal, Panama. We can ignore the spaces in the punctuation, and what we see is that at each pair of pointers, we always have a valid palindrome. As we go from either end to the middle, that never changes. What does that mean? It means that we should go ahead and return true. Now, notice here that our pointers eventually end up pointing to E and A. Clearly, those characters aren't equal, and so we should return false in this case. With that, we can go ahead and code our solution. What we first do is we initialize two pointers, left and right, that are at either end of our string. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to have a while loop, so long as the left pointer is less than the right pointer. We will adjust our pointers by 1 if we land on any characters that are not alphanumeric, but otherwise we will check whether the pair of characters is equal. If the pair of characters is not equal, we basically failed our check and we need to return false. If we get through the loop, it means that our check passed, and therefore we should go ahead and return true. Okay, so what would be the time and space complexity of this algorithm? Well, in the worst case, we would need to check the entire string for mismatches, and therefore the time complexity is O of n. Notice we don't need any extra data structures, we don't need another list, we don't need a hash map or anything like that. And so since we don't need any extra data structures, our space complexity actually is O of 1. Yeah, it's a fairly straightforward problem with this technique. But anyway, I hope that the visualization has made the two-pointer technique a little bit clearer for you. I'm also experimenting with using my real voice, so let me know in the comments below if this has been helpful, or maybe you like the AI robots better. Happy coding and take care.